It only took Glenn Anderson his rookie season to prove he belonged in the NHL. In his first year, he scored 30 goals. He followed that up with 105 points to finish in the top 10 in scoring the next year. He followed that up with 2 more 50-goal seasons during Edmonton's run of 4 Stanley Cup titles in 5 years.
We all grew up together. We're all a bunch of teenagers growing up together and just have the same passion and the same goals and just the same dream of going out there and being the best we could be and winning championships.
Anderson to the net, scores!
I love the pressure situations on a regular basis, and the bigger the game, the more I wanted to play.
After another Cup title in 1990, the Oiler dynasty was broken up. In 1991, Anderson was involved in a blockbuster deal that sent him to Toronto. He was among the team leaders in his short time and helped lead the Leafs to within 1 game of the Stanley Cup final in 1993.
Coming into the room in Toronto and just all the politics and all the outside noise, as I call it, that was going on in the room was incredible, and try to get that all out and then bring in, fresh scent to the room was a challenge, and I loved it. I loved the fact that we turned around and we were like 1 goal away from making it to the Stanley Cup final.
In the middle of the 93-94 season, Anderson was reunited with his former teammate Mark Messier in New York. During the Rangers Cup run, Anderson only scored 3 times, but 2 of them were big.
When you get a tying goal or a goal-ahead goal, it just shifts the momentum altogether. Now all of a sudden you can breathe a little easier, and the guys are a little more relaxed, and their sticks are a lot softer. So whenever you get a chance to get a big goal, it's always just going, yeah, okay, now we can get going again, We had a dynamic team of guys that came together in a short period of time, and there was a lot of trades made at that time. And usually when you make trades like that, it was tough to bring the team together, but Mark did a great job as far as bringing everybody in, as he always does, and made them feel very at home and very comfortable. And just like any other championship team, you get to walk the walk of life forever.
Anderson's distinguished career included 498 goals, 1,099 points. He's 5th in game-winning goals in the playoffs, and 3rd behind Joe Sakic and Rocket Richard in playoff overtime winners. Despite this, Anderson's true passion was international hockey. He represented Canada on 7 different occasions, from Canada Cups to the Olympics.
I'm getting chills already because of the fact that I'm thinking of putting on a maple leaf and playing for your country and playing for Canada, more importantly, and representing your country in any way, shape, or form. And anytime you put on a Canadian jersey, or any jersey for that matter, you respect it and you love it and you have a passion for it, and you strive to be the best you can be and represent whatever colors you're wearing at that point in time. The humanitarian award would be something I'd like to be remembered. A lot of the charity work that we do with all the charities, whatever events we might do, a lot of the athletes really don't get noticed for that.
Please welcome Glenn Anderson, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in the player category.
Thank you very much. Mark, I don't know why they're picking on you tonight, but I think I could outdo you tonight. I might be here a little longer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, hockey fans from around the world. For over 10 years, everyone has been asking me, when are you going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame? Since June 17th, I've been hearing, how's your speech coming? Is it ready? Have you finished? Are you practicing? Did you stand in front of the mirror? Did you videotape yourself? People who know me said I'd be still writing it 15 minutes before I get up here. Or other people would be saying, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Well, you don't have to answer those questions anymore, but I really do need a speech. Is my daughter Autumn. And did somebody help you write this speech like Einstein?
Mommy Einstein.
Mommy Einstein, nice. And what's this for?
It's your speech.
Is this for baseball players? There's no crying in hockey.
Yes, there is when you're making a speech.
Do you want me to cry?
Yes.
Are you going to help me read this?
No, I'm going to sit down and watch you cry.
You don't want to help me at all, are you sure? I really want you to help me on this. Oh, can you say that? I don't know if you want to hear that. You want it? Wow, that's something else. There's a few things that I do every day. Hopefully, I can rub it off on some of you. Get emotional, laugh, and say, I love you. I love you guys. I want to thank the Hall of Fame for this honor, which has made me reflect upon my life's work and friendships. The Hall does a great job keeping the spirit and the tradition alive in the game. Congratulations to the other inductees, Neil Stevens, Mike Doc Emmerich, watch you still, love ya. Ray's Campanello, I tell you, every time I watch big games, I see you there all the time, it's awesome. Igor, I don't know, I can't say enough about you. My being inducted with Igor makes this very special. Because for me, the Russian players made me a better player. Every time we played them, I amped up my game. Alexander Yakushev was my idol. As a kid, watching him with his peers gave me tremendous inspiration. The KLM line, Krutov, Larionov, Makarov, and the Fabulous Five, with Fedosov and Kasatonov, was a rivalry that brought out the best of me. The bigger the game, the better I played. Other great rivalries that I was part of was the Battle of Alberta, between Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers, also the New York Rangers versus the Islanders, and also Ranger Devils. We need these kind of rivalries in sports. The fans, players, and media all love it. As a boy, another rivalry that I had was the Andersons versus the Berries. David, Ken, Doug, Rick, and Don, their dad, who was also my coach and former world champion himself with the Penticton Vs. In my eyes, this was the Hatfields versus the McCoys, and it taught me physical and mental preparation. At the age of 12, my first line mates, Andy Hill and Ken Barry, and I won our first of many championships. And we ended up playing all the way to Denver University together. Kenny and I went on to play for Team Canada and the Olympics and turned pro in the NHL. Thank you, Andy and Kenny, for always being there. Numerous people have helped me along the way. There's no particular order, but there are stories with each name I've learned from every one of you. And the list is endless, and I really don't think we have that much time. But if I did, I'd love to mention all your names. Father David Bauer, one of my mentors, was instrumental in his teachings and his philosophy. He taught me, he reached so many of us in a positive way. Although he knew the game inside and out, he was more concerned with the human spirit. He had such an inner strength, and it rubbed off on me. I was blessed to have met him while he walked among us. Wayne Gretzky. Gretz was light years ahead of everybody. He taught us to be the ultimate professional on and off the ice and with the media. Gretz, you made us think outside of the box and made us better team players and people off the ice. The day you got traded, I lost a brother that day. Before I got the call from the Hall of Fame on June 17th, Wayne called to congratulate me and said, "Andy, you owe me a lot of postage for all the letters I wrote to the hockey world on your behalf." And I said, "Okay, Gretz," wondering what does he know that I don't know. As I hung up the phone, I looked up and I asked God, does he know something that we don't know? Am I getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? The clouds started grumbling, the rain started falling, and I heard this voice from above say, "What do you think I am, Wayne Gretzky?" Speaking of higher powers, Mr. Glenn Sather, I don't know who enjoyed our mind-teasing analytical conversations more, you or I, but I know I lost a lot of sleep thinking about him. But more importantly, I learned, was inspired, and certainly would not be the player or person I became. I'm glad I get to cross paths with you and Ann in New York, and I'm thankful I can call you my friend. I do miss our hunting expeditions and the stories that we came away with. Slats, you inspired me to be a better person. There were never any shortcuts or excuses. You taught us how to set and reach our goals. You're a wonderful mentor, guidance counselor, and father figure. You always knew when to step in if we were out of line, and you had the uncanny ability to step back and let us figure it out on our own. I'm here because of you, and I share this honor with you. My friend, Kevin Lowe. You always stabilized the ship, and even when we were taking on water, your way of bailing us out always made the most sense and still does today. I'm proud and blessed that my family and yours spend unforgettable moments together. Thank you, my brother. Speaking of brothers, Mark Messier. Captain, my captain. When I say your name, I truly think of family. My first meeting of the Messiers was a roast beef dinner, and I wore a green velour shirt that my mom made for me, and Mary Jean, Mark's mother, recently reminded me of it. Guess what we talked about over dinner? Hockey. In detail. For hours. They actually eat it, breathe it, sleep it, and I learned more about hockey at dinner in their home than I could have ever imagined. My very first meeting with Mark, he was playing for the Edmonton Oilers, and he probably doesn't know this. And I was playing for the Canadian Olympic team. The game was in Saskatchewan. There's a scuffle down in the corner, and I could see Dave Semenko roughing up one of our young kids out of college also. All of a sudden, I got cross-checked from behind in the kidneys so hard that it would have taken down any pro boxer. I did everything in my power to remain on my feet from the pain that shot through my body. And I heard a voice say, "You don't want to go in there, kid." As I turned around to see who it was, my eyes locked with who I thought must be the toughest guy in hockey. With one quick tug of my jersey, I was off balance. With my life flashing before in front of my eyes, I recognized him. And I thought, hey, Who's he calling kid? He's 18 years old. I'm 19. I get asked this question many times. Who was the toughest guy you ever played against? My answer is always Mark Messier, even on our own practices. Have you heard of guardian angels? Mark, you've always had my back. I consider you one of my best friends. Thank you for always being there. I'm so grateful to have my parents still alive and able to see me get inducted. I wish you were both here in person. Mom, you made Sports Illustrated before I did with your famous salmon sandwiches, which you fed to all my teammates, training staff, and even the media at our pregame skates. Mom, you truly did it all. Dad, you're always there, and I feel your presence wherever I am in the world. Your generosity is very much appreciated, as it is never ending. Mom and Dad, your home has always been an open door to everyone. I share this honor with you. And thanks to my brother Alan for showing me how to be tough and not back down. One time in warm-up, our team had a brawl. Alan ended up spending the first 2 periods in the hospital, but he came back for the 3rd period and he scored a hat trick, and we went on to win the game. It was inspiration like that which made me the player I became. I appreciate our family times together with Cheryl, Peter, Alex, and Veronica. Have you heard of sayings like, love is blind, love at first sight? When I first met Susan, my wife, I had 2 black eyes, a broken nose, 15 stitches in the head, and a possible concussion. I was slashed over the face in Game 7 in the Vancouver series in the 2nd period, and there was no penalty called. Susan, you're my Stanley Cups, you're my rings, you're all my medals, you're my Hall of Fame, my love, my life, my everything. My friends, family, and brothers, may we all take this walk together as we enter the Hall of Fame. It is with great pride I leave here to celebrate this wonderful honor that has been bestowed upon myself and fellow inductees. Hockey is part of what and who I am, and this has been an incredible journey and so worth waiting for. Thank you.
That was terrific, and that concludes the 2008 Hockey Hall